previous excavation produced an absolute mound of pottery. Paul Blinkhorn's already identified where it was made and dated it. It seems that the building was occupied for a surprisingly short time.
There's stuff like this, which is from Lyveden, which is up in the north of Northamptonshire. It's one of the earliest glazed industries around here. Gets going round about 1200, 1210, something like that. And then there's this, which has been coming up from Oxford, or somewhere around Oxford. Now, this could be as early as 1080. They've found this stuff in the construction of Oxford Castle.
Oh, right, so giving a very precise date. And what about this bit?
Oh, that's quite nice,
completely flat, almost.
It's part of a fire cover or a curfew, hence the expression after curfew.
Yeah.
It's when you put the covers on the fire. Imagine a big bowl, but upside down, with holes in what would be the base, if it was a bowl, yeah?
Yeah.
You basically put this on the fire at night. It allows the fire to smoulder all night, so you'd have to relight it in the morning.
Labour saving.
Absolutely.
So the site's starting sometime around 1100. We know it's still going sometime around 1200. What about the end?
Well, round here there's a major medieval pottery industry at Pottersbury, which is just 3 miles down the road. This industry starts about 1250. Now, if you excavate a site dating to the late 13th or 14th century around here, you find masses of Pottersbury ware, and I do mean masses. It completely dominates the pottery assemblages. There isn't one single scrap from anywhere on this site.
Gosh, so it was completely abandoned.
It must have been.
By about 1250?
It must have gone by 1250, and this site just stopped dead.
Our diggers may find evidence for why the building was abandoned. It might have been because of what was happening on the larger stage. These were turbulent times in England.
In the 12th century, there were some really powerful kings, people like Henry I, Henry II, Richard the Lionheart, and with that power came the ability to tax and to impose fines on people. So that really impinged on people's lives. But we also had some really quite weak kings, people like Stephen and John at the end of the period, and they weren't able to keep their barons in check as successfully, and both of them faced quite major revolts during their reigns.
The Mordwit family who owned this area were Norman nobles who'd been granted, in effect lent, land by William the Conqueror. Their estates included the nearby village of Hanslope. Like many of the nobility, by about 1200 they'd got fed up with the demands of the king. They now felt they owned this land. They were, if you like, becoming at least part English.
Hello, my name's John Gator. Time Team is fan-funded by Patreon. This vital support helps us to make new episodes. Joining Patreon gives you access to exclusive interviews, 3D models and masterclasses, plus lots more.